What's up, gang? Welcome to my live trade session. It is Tuesday, March 5th, 7:29. Market opens here in less than a minute. So to bring you up to speed, if you've missed it, if you missed my pre-market analysis, go back and watch it. Just kidding. Let me go through what we've got going on right here. So this is the NASDAQ. On the 4-hour, we are batting. 4-hour, we are bearish, clearly. 1-hour, we are also bearish. Whoops, that's the 1 minute. 1 minute, we are also bearish. Price is, market just opened. So what I'm looking for, since both my 4-hour and my 1-hour are both in alignment with one another, looking for price to sweep one of these 1-hour highs, grab some liquidity, and then continue its move to the downside. Ideally, that is what I'm looking for. Very similar to NASDAQ, I'm looking for pretty much the same thing on the S&P. On the 4-hour time frame, we are in a bearish trend. Price broke structure to the downside yesterday / late last night. On the 1-hour, also in a bearish trend. It's very similar, looking for price to pull up to these 1-hour highs, sweep some forms of liquidity before selling, continuing its sell-off. We have news in 29 minutes at the 10 a.m. mark and some red folder news. So we'll see how that affects the market, or affects what I'm trading, S&P and NASDAQ. But until then, ladies and gents, we wait. That's all there is to do. For those of you that are new here, hello, welcome. I'm using TradeLocker for my trading platform. TradeLocker not only supports a few prop firms, but also TradeLocker supports the broker that I'm using. So that's why we're on TradeLocker now. Very similar to TradingView in and of itself. I mean, the chart is by TradingView. So pretty similar. I'm pretty accustomed to the platform already, minus the trade executions. I was practicing that yesterday. But other than that, we're all good. We're all good in the hood. So I am going to let price marinate for a bit, and I will be back with an update on where we're at, probably around 10 a.m. I find that the 10 a.m. mark is when price really gives me something. But right now we are just selling off. I'm going to drop down to the 5-minute. Whoa, crazy. Whoa. What in the world is gonna make you listen? Okay, that's it. I'm going to pause this and come back when I've got a little bit more action from price. All right, we are back. It is at the 10 a.m. mark. It's 8 a.m. for me. News just came out. We had a high impact news. I feel the need to show a timestamp every time. But it's 8 a.m. 10 a.m. mark actually. So price is pulling back a bit. If I scale out to the 1-hour, this is still our closest 1-hour high. So keeping that in mind, we still have a bit of a ways of way before price sweeps this 1-hour liquidity that I was looking for, but we're getting a nice push up from this news. and that was S&P. If I scale out to the 1 hour on NASDAQ, similar in the sense that we have our 1 hour high up here. On the last 1 hour candle left a fair value gap. So hopefully, well, not even hopefully, what price could do is come in, fill in this fair value gap, give us a liquidity sweep before selling back down. That could happen. S&P left a little bit of a fair value gap here, but not nearly as large and as in charge as NASDAQ. So keeping a lookout here. Still really not much to report. Really not going to be doing anything until these 1 hour highs are swept on either NASDAQ and or S&P. So that's that, ladies and gents. You heard it here first. I want to look at So this news came out a little bit lower than the forecast, which means if it came out greater, it would be good for currency. If it's good for, it actually shares it right here. If it comes out positive or better than expected, it's good for currency, but it came out negative, which means it's good for indices. Good, bad, that's neither here nor there. Good, quote unquote, indicates some bullish action. And that's exactly what we're seeing right here. S&P is moving a bit quicker than NASDAQ, so I'm going to be paying a little bit closer attention here. I do like this action. Bada bing, bada boom. Cool. This 5-minute candle is going to close in a little less than 60 seconds. So, again, we'll see what price wants to do. All right, so it's been 1 hour since news. It's now 9 a.m. for your girl. And I don't know. I mean, I do know. I know that my areas that I would love for price to pull back into are up here. I don't know if we'll get that today, to be honest. And if we don't, that's okay. Overall, we are still extremely bearish on all regards. 4 hour, 1 hour, it just doesn't look like price wanted to give us a pullback to our areas of interest before continuing its sell-off. It did come up and sweep this. This is like a 15-minute high, but as we all know, I am not looking for 15-minute highs. I am looking for hourly sweeps of liquidity. So all good. Don't know if I'll be taking a trade today, if I'm being quite honest. But that's where we're at right now. Maybe in the afternoon, things will be different. But as of right now, we are pretty far from where we would want to be entering in to short. All right, everyone, we are back. It is 11:47 my time, meaning it's 1:45, nearly 2 p.m. New York. Not gonna lie, I've been just doing stuff around the house. But I wanted to quickly mark out a new 1 hour high that was made here. And this candle closes in the next 12 minutes. I can only imagine it's not going to pull all the way back up. So this is a new 1 hour high on SPX. This is also a new 1 hour high on NASDAQ. Now, if I go back to SPX, we can see that this 1 hour low was swept, price pulled up, and that's what made this 1 hour high. Overall, still very much so bearish, of course, on the 1 hour, definitely. On the 4 hour as well, we swept this 4 hour low, completely filled in this 4 hour fair value gap. There's more liquidity down here, and obviously we have all of this down here. I am not, of course, not certain if price wants to continue to go down, but all things are pointing towards that, towards bearish momentum, 15, 1 hour, 4 hour. Now, yesterday, our move came at like 3 p.m. 3 or 4 p.m. New York, and TP was hit, like multiple TPs were hit along the way. So that's also why I'm continuing on with this live trade session. I've not taken any trades yet. But keeping an eye out, just because yesterday we had a pretty late move, and who knows if that could be the same case today. So that's why I marked out this 1 hour high. That was on SPX. This is now on NASDAQ. On the NASDAQ, if I move to the 4 hour, price has swept out this 4 hour low here. Very similar to ES. 1 hour, continued downtrend, new 1 hour high. We have these lows. We also have all this liquidity to the downside. So we'll see. Again, not doing anything until and unless we keep this bearish structure. Price pulls up, gives us a liquidity sweep, and then on the 5 minute, gives us a break of structure and then confluence for entry. I could very well just not take a trade today, which I'm okay with, but I am going to continue to pay attention to the market and continuing marking out highs if there are any, despite what time of day it is, just because lately time of day hasn't really been like a major factor. So that's where we're at right now. 9 minutes until 2 p.m. East Coast time. And if we don't take a trade today, then still going to post this. We'll do a market recap in terms of what price did do, or maybe I'll just end this with like a market recap since I technically didn't take any trades today. Stay tuned. All right, gang. It is 3:15, aka it is 5:15, New York. That means the market is closed. So with that being said, no trades were taken today. And that's all right. So on SPX, towards the end of the day, 1500. I think that's 3 p.m. Military time and me do not go like this. But around 3 p.m., price started to buy up. It swept this 1 hour liquidity here and then started to buy up. Now, I wanted to see price come to this high, and it didn't, and no trades were taken. Ultimately, price was on all time frames in a bearish trend, creating lower lows and lower highs, but ultimately we never got our pullback into one of these areas of interest. So no trades were taken on SPX. Similar to SPX, no trades were taken as well on NASDAQ. Now, towards the end of the day, like right before market closed, price pulled up into literally 15 minutes before market closed. Price pulled above this 1 hour high, but it's just not the right time of day. So I will not be looking at this until tomorrow morning. No entries today, all good in the hood. We followed our sound trading principles. God bless. Now, it's funny because this sweep here took place on the 15-minute. Of course, if you tuned in yesterday, you know I took a entry based off of a 15-minute sweep and then was soon stopped out. Today looks a little different. There was a 15 sweep here and then price continued down. More times than not, the higher confluence is almost always for me personally, the higher time frame is higher confluence. Whereas, yes, I could get away with potentially scaling down to the 15-minute, but right now at this point, when I'm just gaining consistent profitability, is it worth it to me? No. I ultimately just want to get really, really crystal clear and just really, really down packed on what I know to be true, which higher time frame equals higher power, and not to get shaded by these 15-minute sweeps. So today we were not shaded by the 15-minute sweeps. We followed our sound trading principles and an entry was not presented, and that is okay because it's not going to happen every day. So this was kind of a live trade session into post-market recap all in one. So enjoy this video. I just came back from a run, hence the top. But that's it. That's all I have for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm exploring and discovering new ways to film these videos so they aren't 2 hours long or even an hour long, and they're kind of concise and to the point. So let me know if you like this format. I'm going to continue to explore how I want to share this with you all. So that's it, and that's all. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm really excited for the first time ever, not the first time ever, but the first time in a long time, years. For the first time in 3 years, I'm excited about social media again, and I am excited specifically about YouTube. So please subscribe to this channel, show your support, or just even liking this video or commenting on this video helps a lot. And I just love to see the little community that we're building here. But that's it. I will see y'all tomorrow for the pre-market analysis as always. And that's it. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.